Hello, welcome. It's gonna be a very short stream, less than an hour, I think. And I want to just talk about this game that I finished for the second time, and it is quite an arduous game in a way. That's design hinders the experience. And people are gonna disagree with me, that's for sure. Especially the fans, whether they're true fans, they're probably gonna meet at least in the middle. There has to be some common ground because, in the end of the day, we are humans, right? It's a 6 out of 10. Break this down, full details, and why this game has the potential to be a perfect game, but it's not there. So I'm going to explain this, and probably a lot of people will disagree with this. So the two different games through that I went through here, as you can see, they're really two different times. The first time was 145 hours because I was lost. And the level, if you can see, is actually the same. Right? So let me just reduce volume here. So the level between the two, it's almost the same. Like this is 139 and this is 138. The difference between the two is just two different builds. Let's take a look at the first one. The first one was a pure melee build, as you can see. So if you look at the stats, it's 138. You got 55 vigor, very little mind, 27. Endurance very high. Strength very high. And dexterity 26. Actually, this is a very good build, so not bad. But because the other one, I had put points into faith, so it's a little bit different. So if I go back to the other one. So this took 145 hours. The other one took 47 hours, man. Took a look at how much time you just saved just to know what to do. And that's the idea. And that's why the game is not really different. Now, this armor is kind of weird, right? Weird looking armor, but it actually works. Um, and this time around, look at the stats really different because we put some points into faith. So I was trying to make a strength slash faith character here. And yours is kind of like way a little because you had to put some points into faith. And if you want to, if I explored a little bit more, I'm probably going to get to the final build that I want it to be. But look at the map. At the end of the day, we only use one spell because the last boss is holy. Like there's gonna be some spoilers in here to be warned because I want to give you like the final thought of why this is a 6 out of 10. It's not a perfect game by any means. It's not, and it's just my thoughts and people. There you go, the Steel Beast, and there's a lot of things that could have been used actually to improve the character even further, but it doesn't matter, man. You just need to get a certain amount of points, and then you can defeat the final boss. And I wish they put more to thoughts into the stats, because people actually trying to do different builds on different things and achieve something right with this game. But I don't know how they think, to be honest. So because now we know, because the second time I played, now I know what to do and how to go, where to go. Things, big things, is actually much better now as an experience. You see, we saved really a lot of time from 145 hours to 47 hours. There's a big difference. There's a time actually saved just because you know what to do. Like there are good players out there, the community who helps other people to play this game. That's really nice. That's really thoughtful because they went and spent some of their time to make a walkthrough, like fighting cowboy. Some of their time and make a wiki, like Facts for Life, you know. But are they spoiling the full experience of the game? Actually, it's on the contrary. To my opinion, I feel they really helped me to finish this game. You know, even though I think it's not their job to do so. It's the developer's job because at the end of the day, the developer's trying to sell you a product. But these guys, I don't know how they think. And I don't know how they fans really accept this. And I guess it is what it is. But I guess because they know some people they will struggle with this game. They just I'm not gonna buy it. A lot of my friends who are gamers, and I tell them, hey, what do you think about Elden Ring? It's been getting good scores, all that kind of stuff. So, before I bought the game, and people say, no, I'm not gonna buy this. I'm not gonna play this. It's like, why? It's difficult. Well, I guess it's tricky, but it's not very difficult. No, 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 I'm not gonna buy this. And if you go on YouTube and you just search fail compilations of the game, see people getting upset, breaking controllers, breaking screens, but um, and that happens with Sekiro, also happens with other Souls games, but I guess some people, I don't know, gets really upset about this, and to the point I kind of understand it when I play the game. A lot of times I really get frustrated myself. A lot of times I'm kind of like, why this is designed this way? It's not a really good thing to have, right? But at the end of the day, I guess as an overall experience, I think the design of this game is not really well made. Let's take a look really why this is not really well made. So when you start the game here. You start first step, and then you go here. I actually unlocked a couple extra stuff. First step, you go here, and when you unlock the map here, it's actually you get this arrow. So you go here, get this arrow, you go here, this arrow, and then you go fight this first demigod boss, Mug the Fell Omen. When you start a game, you are like soul level or level 10 or something, 15 maybe. But you cannot beat that boss. And if you've managed to do so, man, you are a very skilled player. Because these bosses, they will do really high damage on you to the point where you're just going to die with one or two hits. And here the Elden Beast, because now I know that I need to put those two talismans. Plus, I use the spell of Divine Fortification. That spell that you can see here. Let's see, let's see. Because it reduces the holy damage that this the lasers that this Elden Beast actually shoots at you, as well as Radagon. It's going to reduce the damage of these things, so it's going to give you a good fighting chance. Now we get to memorize spell. So that's the only spell I used. That's the only spell I used. Lowers Divine Fortification. Greatly increases holy damage negation. So on you and your ally. So you got this on your mimic tier. Your mimic will do something. Plus, you got this Malekith weapon. Has anti-holy stuff on it. No, in the round table, we cannot do anything about it in here. Let's go to somewhere. So it has this ability. And as you can see, it really sucks the life out of a lot of forms in here. And it really works. So I've upgraded this thing fully to the point where you can defeat the final boss easy. I'm guessing they're going to nerf that. That's my guess. They're going to nerf this weapon somehow because it's OP, it's overpowered. The same thing that happens with the Swords of Night and Flame, the same thing that happens with other weaponry within the game itself. So your mimic is basically carrying the same weaponry as you are, and he will do the same thing as you do. Just gonna try to pull these guys and then see what the mimic actually does. And these guys are low level, so don't think about it too much. And that's good. He is protecting you as doing this spell. That's why I use one spell. Because they really reduced They mimic knowledge when to spell and not to spell, and then they make him really not too smart. See, he's just using a spell. That's it. That's why I put one spell. Actually, gonna help you with the final fight. So when you're gonna go ahead and play the game, where do you go? What to start? What to do? The game doesn't tell you. It gives you an arrow to the tough start. So you're gonna struggle for the most part. You're gonna die a lot. To what end, right? So thank God there's something called the internet, and there's say here. Okay, so I'm trying to say here when you go to that Fix for Life website and they give you this map, and this map is actually telling you where to go, what to do. So when you go here, you start here. You have to be between level 115, and then you want to proceed here, level up, and go Weeping Peninsula, then go back to Stormhill, and then from Stormhill to Stormvale Castle, and then fight the first boss. This is a very good indication about where you're going to start the game, how you're going to proceed. Where the game itself here, let me go back to the game itself here, it's not really giving you that direction. The direction is really different. So the directions tell you go Stormhill Castle from the start, and you're gonna struggle for the most part. Hence, that's why I have two really different times here. If you don't know what to do, you will see a really big difference in time. From 145 hours to 74 hours. I mean, do the math. It's like a lot of time within we are higher level even than before. Even though they see this time kind of like wasted. It feels like that. Like here, I even did not explore the this region here because I did not know how to get to it. And then I know how to solve the puzzle like this region. My other character actually unlocked it. Switch back. The idea I'm trying to say here is if there was some kind of direction, it will help. You have to resort to the internet, unfortunately, with this game. See now this time around with this character, I went there and explored this region a little bit. So it's a very good game in a way that has some really interesting things. But if you're gonna ask me about story, I'll tell you I don't know. I know what the story is. Story is it's the line between is fractured. Those demigods are they don't they want to control the land, and there's a war between factions here and there that people fight, and you try to fix things. Melania, I don't know who is Melania and why she wants you to be, you know, you know, chasing the light embrace and try to fix the world and become Underlord and fix the ring. I don't know. The story is kind of fragmented. But that's a big world. There's a lot of things. There's Volcano Manor. It has this family. They have a different way of thinking of things. They don't want to go into the Earth Tree kind of, you know, cult or whatever. They don't want to go and follow the same path of the grace. They actually want you to go and fight Tarnished. But I never accepted their question, you know, their request. So I don't know. In terms of the as a whole story, I think there's a big lore in here, but it's not really well presented. So story wise, it's not really. I don't know what to tell you. There's a lot of fragments here and there. Ronnie quest line is kind of like one of the best quest line within the game, actually. But Elden Lord ending and this what stars of whatever it is. What's it called? Age of the Stars. That's the Ronnie ending, and Elden Lord ending. It was like a long time ago. Here, Elden Lord. So there's two endings that I unlocked. I think that has four. This game has four endings. The two endings has been unlocked. But there's a lot of room of improvement in this game. Your character always takes like big chunk of the screen. Camera should increase field of view. Modders do that on a PC. On console, I mean, I don't think you can do anything about it. Equipment wise, it's like they got different stats on them, but do they really affect gameplay? Like this one has better magic reduction than this one, if you noticed. That's why I use it. So, but the first time playthrough, I did not have this armor. No, I unlocked this armor. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you, man. This one, at least this one seems a little bit better even. So armor also doesn't really affect your gameplay when you do different armor. Very minimal. Sometimes it's not really there. Heavy load now. Very minimal. Very minimal. And the heavy load because of the sword. So that's the sword I used the first time around. See, this one is less damage, but this one has this special ability that it's really good for the final fight. Final fight. So that's why I used it. But this sword is actually better. It's fully upgraded actually. Plus 25. This is plus 10. Believe it or not, we defeated the boss with a plus 10 weapon. So numbers wise, you're gonna struggle to understand where you're gonna put things into perspective. Where are you starting level? When are you gonna start playing the game? All that kind of stuff. And thankfully, for there is YouTube. Thankfully, there's some people who actually try to help and not mock other people. So that's really the big difference with this community of Elden Ring. There's some people who are like Finding Cowboy, who are really dedicating of their time to give you a good experience with the game, even though it's not something that he needs to do, right? But he's doing it. So you go to his channel, go to his playlist, and there's a walkthrough here. A big walkthrough tells you where to go and how to play the game. I haven't finished it myself, but I felt like, okay, man, this actually helps. And I'm going to continue looking into the walkthrough. So, see, like, this is something, like, I don't go look at the walkthroughs into games. Usually I just plug the game and play it. But with this game, I had to do it. So if you got to go to find a cowboy channel, maybe you can find something that's really helpful. Like builds, walkthroughs, let's plays. You go to Fix Your Life, you have a wiki, you want to look for a certain thing, can get it. There's an application on the Play Store where they give the Elden Ring map, and it's a really smart map where you can go and search for things. You have to buy it. You have to buy the application to avoid, ads, and you can have tracking on it. And here's the thing, this is why I don't like this developers are trying to do. In this patch notes here, they really, there's a lot of fixes. There's bugs here. I don't know how the game got perfect 10s, Anyway. So they bit a lot of balance things, even though the game's still not balanced. And drop rate of smithing stones is not really there that much. The drop rate of the smithing stone, it's really little here and there. Shield effectiveness, I used a little bit in the beginning of the game, the shield, but later on I've been using two-handed weapons. And the thing here, they really cater for mages. So if you're going to use these abilities, they reduce the FP cost. A lot of the abilities here. And Ashes of Wars, the Horse Tom, they decrease the damage and the cast time. I don't know why. But somebody did so, somebody did a very fast, you know, like a speed run. Finish the game on a speed run with this Ashes of War. That does a lot of damage. I mean, you guys did it in the first place. FP consumption of Barricade Shield. So if you want to use Barricade Shield, you can use it. And this thing, the Spirit Summon of Mimic to your Ashes, man, they make him really not smart. Really not smart. So if you're going to go use this Mimic, at least put a spell that's going to benefit both of you. So you're probably going to spam it more than attacking the enemy. So, it's kind of hinders the experience, actually. So, melee characters, they're going to have a hard time. More than mages. But the game should cater to all different builds, right? But they don't do that for some reason. I don't know why. So if the game there's a lot of bugs and all that kind of stuff, how the they're like these guys give it all, this interesting funny wall. Starting to load actually. Like really? Really this game is perfect? No issues whatsoever. Well, but when people try to talk and they say you're finding mechanics outrageous and have memory leaks everywhere, all that kind of stuff, people defend this. But I don't know why they defend this. Like, they call them the arbiters, right? I don't think the game has lack of direction, all that kind of stuff. I mean, that's your opinion, but if it doesn't, why people go watch this walkthrough? Do you think I'm the only one who watched this walkthrough? Let's go. How many views on this one? The first one here. 1.3 million subscribers, 1 million views.
One of my other Souls-like walkthroughs
on the first walkthrough alone.
100% covering all the NPC side quests.
Do you think those 1 million viewers, they're not smart? They cannot figure things on their own? Or maybe this guy did a very good job that the developer should have been done in the first place. That's the question you need to ask yourself. A lot of people watching walkthroughs, a lot of people go watching wikis and all that kind of stuff, just to find where I can find some certain weapon I can want. This game, by far, in terms of design, has a lot of work to need to be done. It's kind of like, I kind of have mixed feelings, I feel sad, but, I mean, it is what it is. You know why sad? Sad because it has the chance to be really perfect in. There's really good things in here. The art of this game is really, really awesome. I'm going to give you an early glimpse of the first area. It's not a spoiler. Otherwise, my house. Gotta meet an NPC in here or what? World, basically. I'm just showing you that experience. The first time I was like, going down like this, and I saw this effect, and I was like, oh, cool. Some kind of magical warrior place. And I thought I'm gonna meet some elves in here. Something like that. But in actually it goes way below, and this music changes and gives you an idea that this is something different in here. It's like, what's going on? How long this is going down? I was like, why? Surprised. I was like, what? And I saw this for the first time. I was like, wow. There's stars below this ground. Am I in a different realm, or what's going on in here? And I saw this. And I think I am below the ocean, and this ocean from this perspective looks like stars. Because when you go look in the map, you technically kind of like below water. See off for a river. The first time saw this, I was like, wow, this is really interesting. So the artwork for whatever engine they actually using, whatever graphics actually using, they did produce something really good in terms of high quality. And seeing those guys, and then moving toward you, and the music changes all of a sudden and becoming hostile, and they're creepy in their movement, and it's like, wow, this is builds a really interesting tension. Of course, I could not kill them that easy the first time I came here, but now because I have leveled up the scouts way to be very powerful, now I can actually take them down with one hit. Okay, but that atmosphere, it's like, where are you? What's going on? What is these creatures? They are made of, and they die, become like mud, all that kind of stuff. So whatever for what they have in terms of technology they've been using, it feels like it's not the best thing you're gonna see on a PlayStation, on Xbox, or PC. But still, they produce really nice, good visuals and quality. They build a different, really interesting realm in here. 'Cause you can see that's the problem. Is this big camera, big creature, kind of got to keep back with it. %, always damage. That's nice. And killed it. Ancient Dragon Somber Spirits there. Okay. You get the idea. But this build is really not bad. I mean, you've been using dual katanas from the beginning of the game. It's much more efficient, I think. But this has its perks as well. You know, carrying this two-handed. You get the idea. So as an overall, this game, how it is, I'm gonna say this. I don't know if FromSoftware gonna improve or not. I mean, it's their game, but in the end of the day, we are the ones who purchased the game. We are the ones who are spending money on it, right? So we have to have say in this. And the feedback is not just to diss whatever these guys doing. They did something really good, but I guess what's making them from improving camera angles? Is it really difficult to improve that? Why can't you make those enemies a little bit smaller? Like in this fight, what did you see? You see a foot of a dragon, right? You see its wing, its head. For the most part, you're gonna see its foot. I mean, they make it really big, huge dragon. Well, what's the point? Like, I am really too small. This is really too big. and then the camera's really having hard time tracking what's going on, how the fight is going. And this is not just this dragon. So like most bosses is really huge. And the camera, if you lock into the camera, it has a really hard time, keeping things in and you're fighting controls for the most part than actually playing the game. These decisions, these decisions that they actually did as they developed the game, I think like they cannot make things a little bit better. You're telling me they cannot increase field of view? I mean, they can do it. They cannot improve camera. No, they can't do it. They not make things in terms of nice, good amount of speed and things that's manageable. You don't have to use a summon. There's always the argument that it's these guys with barely armor just using level weapon and they're doing the final boss and they're doing something epic, right? But we talking normal guys, normal people like us who are trying to play a game. How many people are like this who are really very highly skilled? Some people are just, average player playing video games, trying to enjoy his time. It's the game caters for special audience. I don't know. I cannot understand this argument. I mean, there are other games out there that can go ahead and enjoy and play. Come on, man. What is it? I mean, what makes you so special playing this game that other people's cannot play? You think it's about really high skill? Did I develop a skill after finish it twice? No, man. It's nothing like that. It's not like that at all. This is the final time talking about Elden Ring. I think this game took a lot of attention from me. And the problem is, I think a lot of terms of design, I think these guys from Software, they should have thought something really differently. But they put themselves into this situation where they cannot come out of it now. If they did, they think they portrayed their own audience. The one that they get good guys, they get good guys. These guys, they are the ones who really special with these Souls kind of type games. But there are people who helps. They put walkthroughs, they put wikis, people to give you tips. That's a very big difference. There's a difference. There's a difference between somebody who's trying to, welcome you to his community. People to just diss you out of the community. But there are things within the game I saw myself like bosses heal in the middle of fight without healing animation or whatever. It's not like you're using a flask or something. Like Malekith fight, I fought him and I took his health down, and all of a sudden it just comes toward me, and his health bar goes back up to the middle. It's like, why? What's my work that I have been doing through this fight has been gone all of a sudden? Radagon had the same kind of effect sometimes. And people say like it's because the Black Knight Tish or whatever, her spell just got removed, but the damage should be done. You cannot cancel a damage. The damage is done, right? Do I have the same effect if Malekith did that spell on me? No, man. I'll die easy. Whatever talisman I have, whatever armor I have, I'm gonna die quick. Split second. That's it. Do they have the same effect against bosses? No, you don't. Um, and then it becomes a situation where throughout the game they want you to die. Their ultimate goal, the developer, is you die because the game is hard. It's meant to be hard. There's difference between hard and really stupid, ridiculous decisions that makes the game hard. Like camera, field of view, size of the enemy is way too huge. Camera is not really keeping up. The combination of things they put there makes you really have a hard time that you are fighting controls more than actually playing the game. Yeah, we beat the game twice, but still, as an overall experience, I think they missed a very big opportunity to really, really this game become a perfect 10. They missed that opportunity. And I think, I don't know why. I cannot understand until today why they decided to make things the way they are. Some business decisions like engine updated, okay. They don't want to spend money on engine. It takes time to develop their own engine if they're gonna improve that engine that they have. It's gonna take some time. The visual is still good. It's not bad, but performance wise, it's not there. Whether it's on console or PC, it's just not there. You got pop-ins, you got starters, you got. It's just the performance is not there. Even if you got the best PC out there, you got the 3090 Ti, you got the latest i9, whatever, and you got 64 gigs of RAM or in like a high speed SSD and very high speed RAM. It won't make any difference. You gotta have stutters, you got dips on the frame rate. Some people got, in the middle of a boss fight, they got just, frozen. I got frozen on PlayStation, like on the loading screen. So performance wise, it's not there. So how is this perfect then? It's not perfect then. No, man, it's not. Performance alone should make it a 9, right? And then you got these really weird decisions that they put into the game. The quota keep increasing. It's a lot of cumbersome work just to play a game, just to finish a game. There's a lot of work you need to do. It feels like, what am I doing? A job here? I'm not trying to play a game and enjoy my time with it. Story is like missed opportunity as well. It's like there's a lore in there, I can tell. But is it presented? You ask me, like, I finished the game twice, man, and I don't know the full story, the full context of it. I don't know the full context of this game. So the characters, Blythe, Alexander, this guy, Shibiri woman, uh, Yuri, what's his name? The samurai, Yuri, I think, becomes Shibiri later. I don't know what happens. He becomes crazy. And after you kill Mogwin, he dies, and you get his sword. And it's like, what happened to him? Why he died? What happens? And then this guy, EG, I'm going to spoiler territory, but I finished the game. I don't care. That guy, he's a blacksmith. He just dies. And you get his bell bearing, and he just give it to the twin maidens, and then you can buy whatever things in there. At least you get a blacksmith here in the round table, so you can upgrade your weapons. So it's there's a big opportunity to have a really interesting full context in terms of lore, but it's not there. It's not presented in the game. Um, and the game is trying very hard to give you a really bad experience that you die easy. No matter how much armor you put, no matter how much things you put into the character, you will die easy. It's easy for you to die. It's very hard for the bosses to die. You have to work you know, just to make enough damage on these bosses. That last fight, me fighting this big giant dragon, he just saw a foot because camera is not really working well with this huge, features on the screen, and it's doing all these kind of crazy stuff at the same time. There's great art in this game. There's great voice acting. There's great music. There's great lore. There's great presentation. There's awful camera. There is awful uh, camera field of view. There's awful tracking of hitbox. There's an awful. So the thing is between the two is like 50-50. But the good gets the upper hand, so it's a 6 out of 10. You cannot say this is 8 or 9. No, man. There is awful things here. There are great things and there's awful things. The point of making this video, why do I have to talk about Elden Ring a lot? It's because if I am the creator of this thing, I'm not gonna feel good by doing this out. Yes, I made sales. Yes, I made my money. But to the end of time, my product will be viewed in a way that is not as excellent as I want it to be. And there are very easy, simple fixes I could have done and make the experience even a lot better without copying any other company's work or UI, whatever. You can do lots of things. Easy things will make the game experience a lot much better than what people are gonna experiencing right now. You know, those people who are really enjoying the game right now, if they did some of the changes that, let's say, they make the field of view better, the camera better, the controls better. Imagine if they put those arrows on the map a little bit to the right places so you have a really smooth experience. Imagine as the overall perception of the game, how it's gonna be. Then, yeah, people will agree that this is a 10 out of 10. But it's not. It's really not. Then, yeah, I'm gonna agree with most people and say, yeah, this is a very, very good game. But this is a missed opportunity with decisions that I cannot understand the people behind those decisions. The Malekith fight, they make it harder. And the guy was healing in the middle of fights, like, he's cheating the player for some reason, I feel. I was like, why are you doing this? What's the point? Why is very, very, very important for the player to die a lot on the boss? What's so important? To learn something? No. At the end of the day, it's a product to be meant as entertainment. It's like something you do after getting from work. You try, turn on your console, you turn on your PC, whatever. You try to play a game and enjoy your time. This game giving me a hard time. It's like, and then you got the people gonna ask you why are you doing it. The reason I'm doing it is just a point of view. Make a point of view that this game is not really well designed. It's not because I didn't finish it. No, I finished it twice. It's because there are really things not really good in this game. And they have to be admitted. These guys need to admit. But these guys made changes in 1.03 to the worse. And it's like, why you guys did that? Why? What's the point? What is it if the mimic was really easy and doing a really good job defeating the bosses? I mean, you give them really high, huge health pool, like half a million or a million HP compared to my 1,400. I mean, isn't that even fair? I think it's fair to have a good mimic, to have a good buddy, where everything in this world is really precise and killing you. You miss a roll, you die. You miss something here, you die. You miss something in there, you die. It's good for the boss to do so, but for the player to have a good chance to fighting chance, it's like it's a crutch. You know, you got people saying like if you use summon, it's a crutch. Right? I mean, the developer put that in there in the first place. It's not me. How's that a crutch? Don't you improve your weapon? Is that a crutch? Don't you go ahead and improve your weapon, get better armor, all that kind of stuff? Get better talismans. So it is the concept you try to get to understand those get good guys. It, it is no logic behind their thinking. Things has to be hard. You have to learn the game. You have, I mean, come on, man. It's an RPG game. Shouldn't be a very difficult thing to do. What did I learn from beating this game twice now? Do you think I learned something new? No, man. Did the experience improve? Well, I'll tell you because I know what to do. I saved some time. 147 hours compared to 70 hours. Yeah, I mean, there's a big difference in time in here. Because we know what to do now. Where the developer himself, he should make it much easier for you to enjoy your time, not to have a hard time with the game. That's the idea. That's the point. The point is, it's the end of the day, it's entertainment. It's video games are meant to be very hard. Once you know what to do, things will become easier. And I thank for the people who really help. You know, they put a map, interactive map, that really helps. People put walkthroughs, that really helps. People put wiki, that really helps. You think those guys spoil the experience? On the contrary, they improve the experience. Do not spoil it, man. It saved me some time. 147 compared to 74. There's a big gap here in terms of time has been saved. But I don't know. People, I guess, yeah, it's respectable to be strong behind your opinion, but at least it has to make sense. If it doesn't make sense, it just doesn't make sense, man. At the end of the day, RPG games, I mean, need to be, they do mathematics in there. You put points into constitution, like vigor, puts points into your mind, you put points into your strength. These things need to really take effect into the game. It will not take effect really, not even by the end game. You feel always underpowered. I don't think you're gonna be feeling like you're really overpowered. You're taking those bosses because you did something really cool. I've seen people actually playing this game, and then the way they spend uh, like almost a full stream on one boss is just I can understand. I've been there, you know. But that means this is not a good design in the end of the day that you're spending a lot of time just to try to defeat a boss. And they think this is really good to have. I was like, no, man, not really. That means there's something wrong with the numbers that's within the game itself that actually doesn't add up. So your stats, does it even matter? The weaponry you improve, stats, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, they shouldn't have taken account of all these things in there, but they didn't. Yeah. I'm not gonna talk about Elden Ring anymore. That's it. I'm done with this game, man. I'm really done. But I don't understand how people think sometimes and they defend this thing. You really care about it? And Bandai Namco from Software listen to you? Really likes to listen to you and you from Software. Give them a feedback. Let them improve. This is not perfect 10. Tell them the reality of things. No, man, this is not perfect 10, man. Don't believe those professional reviews. They just lie to you. Do you want to accept lies? Or you want truth? Then you have to tell them this. You want lies or do you want truth? Truth thinks your game as an overall is a 6. Like, why? Don't you enjoy it? Yeah, for the most part, yeah, I did, but the camera should be improved, the field of view should be improved. This is not you picking up on your fan. You're a fan of this guy's company, this work. You're giving them feedback so they can improve.